All right, we are on, Jason.
Yo, how is everything going, everybody in chat? I'm super hyped for today. We got lots of good news, and I guess I shouldn't say good news because obviously I'm sure everybody's portfolio is crying a little bit, but I shouldn't say good news. My bad for everybody in chat who's down money today. Poor all of us. But I mean, we have a lot of earnings, which is good. I mean, that's always fun, at least, even if the market is not so happy about everything.
Can you pull up the earnings calendar, Jason, on stocks? Let's see who's reporting earnings today.
Do that real quick. Let me share my screen. Now we have so much, like, man, there's so many good stocks and companies that obviously did this morning, but even have even more than that now too. So let me share. There we go. Well, Thursday, I feel like Thursday is probably honestly, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are all great. So, but obviously right here is our 4 markets, dairy markets, all the same. These are pretty much obviously pre-market, dairy market times. We had Shark Ninja this morning, which is, I'm sure some people out there, love that kind of stuff. Obviously we had MetLife. There's so many companies. Hershey Company this morning, Exxon right there. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other ones top of my head. Cool. Kellogg right there too. But this afternoon,
there's a new feature here. I don't know if you noticed it, but it is sorting companies by in descending order of market cap, and it is only showing companies with $3 billion or higher. And so if you want to see everyone, you have to hit that show all button kind of on the top. There's a show all. And then that'll show you
it does.
Every public company.
Sweet. I was wondering if that was going to be added or not too. So I just not noticed that myself. So yeah, if you guys want to see all anything under 3 billion market cap, you can now go over here and click show show small and mid caps. So now you can see all of them. Just like we couldn't see, obviously, like minerals earlier when I was on here. But this is pretty awesome, though, overall. Like, man, like I said, anybody can use this, too. Let's just say, like, obviously, today we're talking about, I think we scroll down here because there's a lot of companies now. Because obviously you see these like 40, like this right here has got 45 mil, 29.5 mil. Let's just say, obviously, we're talking about Apple. Now you can click on this, and this is absolutely free for everybody to use. And a lot of companies actually, you have to pay for this. So now you just click on that, and you can see all the earnings. You can actually see their calls, past calls, which is super awesome. Like, obviously, once the new call pops up, it'll be up here as well. You can listen to the new call when it's going on. And like I said, like, you can listen to your previously, you can look at, earnings estimates and if they beat or didn't beat in the past. That way you can look at patterns and those kind of things as well. So, and like I said, anybody can use this. This is free. You can add alerts if you want to add alerts to certain ones. You can follow certain stocks. This will continue to get better and better, obviously. As we said before, it's just, it's something that we're building in real time. Just like before, we didn't have the show small caps and mid caps. Now that's there. So, which is pretty awesome overall. But there's a lot of in-depth stuff that will be coming with this. I know a lot of you guys that, like the freebie kind of things that definitely want to see earnings or listen to earnings calls. You don't have to go and, sign up on some website that was made in the mid 2000s. That's, super crazy and super hard to do. I think everybody's going to be happy about that one. So, yeah. This is super
Hey,
awesome.
Victor.
Hey. What's up, guys?
What's going on, my man?
Man, I'm only showing up on really down days. I got to stop.
Yeah, I know.
I got to show up on a couple positive days.
That's what I'm saying. You're bringing the market down, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going to start blaming you in chat. Every time you're on, it's like a down day.
I mean, guys, that
show up to a party and then the
whole... That's great.
And what do you guys think? I mean, the day's been so red. I mean, if Apple shows up and says, "Oh, we actually contracted," because they've been flat on revenue, they haven't been growing for a long time. If they show up and say, "Oh, we actually went down 3-4% in revenue," and they don't have an AI strategy in place, they kind of do, but they kind of don't. And then Amazon comes in and says, "Oh no, our AWS business didn't grow as much as we'd like." I think it's going to be horrible.
It'd definitely be a bloodbath for sure. I mean, I think Apple Intelligence is coming along on its own end. I think the biggest tell for Apple is how much of the market has what's that company called, Huawei in I don't know how to exactly say it, but in China has taken over for phone sales. Like how are phone sales doing in China right now, competing against Huawei? So I'm wondering on that end. I think that's the biggest thing for Apple. I think that's what everybody's gonna be looking at, honestly. If I had to point out one thing, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. Everybody's gonna be looking at China numbers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
think that's the number one thing.
Yeah, I mean, Apple really has lost their mojo.
They have lost some mojo. They could gain it back, though. Like I said, I think honestly, again, the AR side of Apple's business and the AI side of their business, I think, can do wonders. It's just, how much progression is coming along with the AI side. Again, they're launching, I guess, the newest iPhone that's going to be coming out will have AI features on it. The Apple Intelligence is what they're calling it. No brainer there. I mean, AI, Apple Intelligence. I mean, it writes itself at this point when it comes to Apple. Like, they always got to put their name on it. So, eventually probably people will be, when somebody hears AI, they'll think Apple. That's the way I look at it, at least. Again, I don't, for me, at least, I don't think Apple's going to fail, though. Again, I think the biggest thing is like what is Apple doing in the China market, and how is Huawei is Huawei taking over like a lot more business, or is it kind of just slowly eating at it a little bit, or is it kind of like, if we hit a plateau yet? I think that's the biggest thing for me, at least, as a retail investor. I think that's what a lot of people are probably looking at. I mean, I think I had a news from earlier. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys probably know TD Cowen, but he actually raised his target on Apple's stock price. He increased it to $250 per share. So I mean, that's a good thing, at least. I mean, that's obviously not always something you want to look at as like, every other analyst, giving a stock price. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think, any good news in this market, that we're in right now, and this like, weird, like volatile market that we're in right now, especially with all the, things going over across the world and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of ups and downs, but I do think it's a good thing. And I know a lot of people, look at, TD Cohen, not saying he's the best in the world, but I know a lot of people look to him for some of his, stock price strategies. So, hey, I don't think it's a bad thing, at least, to get a $250, per share increase.
Yeah. Two huge stocks that are going to announce. I think, so one's a $3 trillion market cap, one's north of $2 trillion. Huge.
No, yeah, it's massive. It's a massive day. Yeah, like I said, it could literally, like this. If it comes out bad and it's a bloodbath for both of them, the whole market's gonna get drugged down with it, no matter what. I hope that doesn't happen. Like I said, I mean, again, like I said, I believe in Apple and what they're doing. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is going to be, will be, the sales in China. Will it boost or not boost?
I think, like, looking at Microsoft's earnings, I didn't think were bad. I thought
they weren't bad. Like, the issue was, though, with Microsoft,
this massive business grew. They just didn't like blow away they didn't, get to exceed the number and then say, oh, by the way, things are going to be even better in the future. They didn't come out with that type of statement, and their cloud business did shrink a tiny bit. It showed a tiny bit of weakness, and they were kind of reserved a little bit, and boom, the stock just got hit.
No, for sure.
That's what I think Apple and Amazon are going to have the same kind of rule set, which is like Amazon, Meta, they blew away their number. 22% growth.
Oh, yeah.
Meta's number already, $150 billion run rate. I mean, that is growing, baby. And then their profit increased 73%. Their net profit. I mean,
the net profit was great.
They just blew away their number.
Yeah, no, I was super happy with Facebook because obviously I'm an investor in Facebook and Meta alone. So like I love them a lot. I've liked them a long time. I think for Apple though, like I do want to place some heat into the Microsoft. Like we're looking at Microsoft. You remember Microsoft also that same day had another breakdown with their system, and people couldn't use Office 360. People couldn't use Azure because it was down. So you got to remember that too, though, is Microsoft had two fuck ups, honestly. Again, one of them was they didn't hit their target for Azure. It kind of retracted a little bit. And then they also, the same day, they had another meltdown with their Office 365, and their Azure network was down for like a few hours. So I think that alone, both of those, alone kind of cultivated that big drag down for Microsoft. I honestly don't think they would have drugged down as far if it wasn't for both of those catalysts hitting at the same time. I think we would have seen contraction in the stock price a little bit, but it wouldn't have been that big of a dip, as big of a dip at least. And I think they would have recovered faster. But I think what happened is that people were seeing it that morning. The stock obviously was not doing that great already. Then people couldn't log into Office 365. So then obviously that messes up a lot of work stuff. And then obviously Azure was down. So some people couldn't even get into their systems again. That was just 2 weeks after the CrowdStrike conundrum. So I think that left a lot of, bad taste in people's mouths anyway. So I don't want to really compare, Apple to Microsoft on this. Again, I do think if numbers in China look dreadful, I think that's when we might see the Big Dipper. But I don't expect it to happen. Again, nothing against Huawei. If I'm messing the name up, then you guys can tell me. I'm terrible at it, but
yeah,
I think Huawei. It's Huawei.
Oh, Huawei. Okay, Huawei. There we go. I said Huawei. Okay, whatever. I'm super close.
For a second, I thought, oh no, Apple has a new competitor.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never remember that. I just knew it was something with an H that was somewhat silent. So Huawei. Either way, guys. Either way, I just think if that is the standard that a lot of people are setting is looking at that. I think that's the biggest thing, at least for me, when I'm looking at the stock. If it's bad in China, stock is dip. If it's not as bad in China, stock, either goes, I think it'll go up, honestly, at that point.
So maybe a tell would be Qualcomm. Qualcomm's most of their business is in smartphones. And I thought their earnings were fairly good, but their stock was down big. I'm like, what's going on? What the heck? Yeah. I don't understand.
No, for sure. Yeah. Let me go over this really quick too. 9.56. Jeez.
Yeah. And they had pretty good numbers.
Yeah. I mean, honestly. All right, I'm going to go over this really quick. If you guys are brand new, if you guys are just watching and haven't made an account, make sure you guys make an account really quick and come in and get your, obviously you get free predictions right at the start. If you guys haven't used this before, I'll give a little introduction. Once you get onto the screen, you have an account. You'll have your tickets up here in the top right. You have daily logins right beside it. Each day you log in, you get daily logins. You can take those. And then on the news section right here, you can get your, obviously, daily logins that way. You enable notifications. You get 10 extra entries. Follow us on Twitter and YouTube for an extra entry apiece. And then every time you refer a friend, whether you're, sharing this link on your Discord or with your family or on your socials, every time somebody signs up, you get 5 extra tickets, and that's unlimited as well. So if you guys haven't done that, make sure you guys do those things. And then to make the prediction, I can show you how to do it really quick. So it shows the live price is at $217.88 right now. So let's just say I'm thinking it's going to go up. I'm thinking it's going to go up to I'm going to say $225, just to say it. And then 86 cents, you hit submit prediction, and then you'll see the confetti fall, and then you'll obviously confirm that in chat because it'll show it. Don't just type, your prediction price in chat because that's not going to work. Just make sure you guys are doing it the right way and hitting make predictions. Welcome everybody. If you're brand new, we do this every Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern. I think today we're going to push it a little bit longer because I don't think Apple, what time does Apple do their earnings? Can't think of right off the top of my head, but I think it's a little bit after market. I think it's like, so we have a little bit longer today, I'm pretty sure, for you guys to bid. Usually bidding goes off at 4 o'clock, but today, or 4 Eastern. But today we're extending that a little bit because Apple's earnings isn't until I think 30 minutes after close, something like that. So we're extending the bidding time.
2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. So 5 p.m. Eastern today. Okay, sweet. So yes. So at 5 p.m. you guys will, obviously we'll let everybody, predictions come true at that point. If you went up or down, obviously bearish, bullish, doesn't matter to us. But yeah. Welcome everybody. If you guys are new, we got a few guests today as well. We got Victor here.
Hey, Jason, just right before you introduce the guests, I'm gonna head out. I need to go back to my flight training, but
you're good. You're good.
I'll keep watching the stream, so you guys take it over from here.
Yeah, we got it. We got this. We got it. We can hold it down.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Murdy.
Bye.
Bye. All right, I'll let you you all introduce yourself. I don't want to do it for you, so I'll let you guys, all 3 of you, introduce yourself, and then anybody else that joins, we'll just have them introduce themselves as it goes. We can start with Victor, then work our way down.
Hey everybody, I'm Victor with Victor H Investing, and I'm a YouTuber / live streamer on Stonks eventually.
Yep.
It's great to be here and watch the market with you guys.
Awesome. I think next, whoever wants to go next, either one of you can go next. It doesn't matter to me.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kelly with Stock Options Trading Academy. Excited to be here, sharing information and chatting. Been doing this for about a week or so now, right, Jason? About a week or so, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. You've been in and out. That's for sure. She's definitely won a lot of money in the game.
For sure. You know what? And a lot of my clients have won money too. So I got one that's up to 500. I got another one that's up to 200. I got one that said her son is up $100. So we're doing pretty good over here. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's good to hear everybody. So obviously good to see people win. I do want to say this really quick. We did switch over from PayPal to Stripe. Stripe obviously has to go through checks and stuff like that. So Monday is when everybody's payouts will start coming out. Okay. We'll obviously send an email as well saying payouts are good to go. So it's Monday. We was hoping it'd be Friday, but Stripe said Monday is the soonest that they could release our hold because we're a brand new account, obviously through Stripe right now. So, and then, we should be good to go after Monday though. And that makes it a lot easier. Eventually we're working with another vendor too. If you guys, don't want to go that route, you can just hold your money. And then eventually we're going to have gift cards as well. If you guys are in different areas, maybe, or something like that you just only want to use gift cards. Like we're working with a vendor that has 2,000 different gift cards, like, Amazon and, all kinds of them. So you can just cash out through those kind of gift cards as well. That's taking a little bit longer because we have to do a whole integration with their API, but eventually that should be out as well. Sometime in August, hopefully in the next, couple weeks. And then you guys should be able to use Stripe and the gift cards.
That's sweet. Awesome.
All right, Coach, you can introduce yourself too.
Kevin Davis Investment Dojo. Just happy to be here.
Awesome. So yeah, so we were just talking about Apple. I'd love to get your guys' perspective on Apple. What do you think Apple's going to do today? I know a lot of people are looking at China right now with which I just learned the other phone company Weiwu or Wei. It doesn't matter. I'm going to mess it up every time. Either way, it depends on how much they've taken over the Chinese market right now, or has it hit like a limit and Apple's kind of recovering kind of thing. I think that's the biggest thing right now is people are looking at Apple's sales in China and basing off that. Then they have the other stuff with AR and AI. I think a lot of people are looking at that as well, but I think the biggest thing is sales right now.
Yeah, cool.
I think the last reports I was seeing is that because of the AI, the 15, they've been picking up in China. That's the last reports I think I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that as well. So I'm hoping I think that's going to be the case. Like I said, we had TD Cohen, and I know a lot of people look at his kind of stuff as well. He came out and gave them a $250, increase of $250 per share for his outlook. I mean, right now, we've had a red day today, and it's not been the worst red day in the world. It's not been I guess unless you're in there's a couple stocks that have been pretty bad, right? If you're in Intel and you're down 6%, that's not the funnest. Mm-hmm. But Intel's been in a world of hurt anyway since AMD's kind of, took a struggle hold over some of the stuff. And they're trying to change a lot of things right now. But like I said, Apple's down 1.7%. Microsoft, had that terrible day when their earnings, but that was a whole story. And Google's down, almost 1% as well. And Google has earnings. I honestly think aftermarket, I feel like we're going to get some good earnings from Google and Apple, and hopefully that'll lift the whole market and make everybody else's stocks happy. But yeah, like I said, I think at the end of the day, I think it's just looking at the China numbers. And like you said, I have heard also that, the AI side has kind of boosted numbers over in China, but obviously a lot of people are looking at those numbers to come in.
Yeah, but I think that, as you know, Apple's a widely held stock, and,
yep.
These markets move for a reason, and they've been holding. I mean, Apple's been kind of doing well as of late. And yep. Also, you have to look at the seasonality too. At the end of the month, which yesterday, you saw a lot of selling down. And then even with NVIDIA, you saw it get, smashed down to about $100 aftermarket. And then AMD comes out with their numbers, Bing. So, everything's about CapEx spending at this point. And then you see Meta yesterday saying, you know what, they had $39 billion in revenue, but then all of a sudden they're going to put $35 to $40 billion in CapEx, kind of like shaking a stick at the analysts. So it's really funny what you're saying.
No, 100%. Like I said, I think Facebook, absolutely killed it yesterday. Again, like I said, it's, I've had, Meta for a little while as well in my portfolio, but I think they did really, really great. Meta's one of those stocks to me, when it fell, obviously in 2022, I thought that was just crazy. A lot of people were it's more speculation, right? It kind of scared retail investors, and then obviously computers sold. And then once computers start selling, all the retail investors go nuts and start selling. Mm-hmm. It kind of happens that way. People get scared and sell. And that created really good buying opportunities for Meta though. Some people got in really, really low. I bought, quite a bit when it was in those lows right there. And it's still when you're looking at it, I think the PE level is 27 or 28 still where it's at now. It's still not terrible when you're looking at it that way. And even back then though, it was so low. It was crazy to see such a massive, platform that brings in so much money, go that low. But obviously I know a lot of people were scared because, Mark and them were throwing tons of money into VR at that time, which I think was a mistake. I think they should have put more money into AR instead of VR. I thought that was a massive mistake. I still wish they would stop spending money on that. But I think overall, when it comes to ad sales and those kind of things, I think, it kind of lifts that other area up, and it's okay, you kind of have to take the downside of Meta with the upside of Meta.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm one of the guys who don't really like Facebook.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not a Mark Zuckerberg fan.
I get it.
Duplicate what it is, but you can't deny that they control advertisement, the internet. They have a nice moat, and so it doesn't mean they don't make money. It's just that
no.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great company in that respect. So that it's just how I feel personally.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that too. It's the same thing with, like, let's just say Tesla, right? There's a lot of people that do not like Elon Musk, and that's just how it's going to be. So I think it goes, both ways on that end. Like, sometimes you get really good companies that are great. You're just like, you can't like connect with the CEO really. You're like, I don't. It's for some reason it's you can't pinpoint it either. You're like, I just don't like them. I do think, obviously they're smart guys. Like, I think Zuck is a super, super smart person. Do I think he can be a little cutthroat? Yeah, but I think a lot of CEOs are kind of cutthroat on a lot of areas.
If you're not going to have I want to rape and pillage the village type of mentality to get business and territory and market share, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you look at, I was reading something yesterday on, I think it was Elizabeth Warren going after NVIDIA. Because of AI dominance, pretty much. I'm like, how do you penalize companies for being innovative and early?
Yep. It is kind of hard, right? Like, I don't know, man. It's like a weird thing where, just like you said, it's like you kind of get penalized as being that company that's out and early too. So it's like, it's a weird one at the end of the day. But I think overall, like I said, I think, I'm hoping though, aftermarket and when they start releasing earnings, I'm hoping, with Google and Apple, they kind of turn the tide. Or I said Google and I mean Amazon. I keep saying Google too. My brain's looking at like 5 or 6 different stocks. I'm over here saying different ones.
I think
how that goes.
Yeah,
I think it will. If you look at the Dow, right, and if you look at the stocks over the 50-day moving average, you're looking at industrials, materials, financials, and real estate. So you kind of say, okay, big boys are hiding out a little bit. That's number one. Number two, if you look at, pretty much the backbone of AI is reporting at the end of August. And if you go back to March 25th to be exact, you saw NVIDIA peak, but they sold it off down to April 19th. It took a 28% haircut. Right. Yep. So now you took a 41% haircut from the top down to 100. And if you look at where it's positioned, I think everybody knows based on AMD numbers that they're going to do okay. So how the institutions kind of want to lean on the stock, suck it in, and kind of fool retail investors at this point.
No, yeah, that definitely happens too. Like I said, there's a lot of like fear in the market, like when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, obviously, like, it's clicks, so you can't like 100% blame a company for like doing that, because again, it does get clicks, like whatever. I mean, I guess it's the media these days, but it is like, they do that a lot. It's the same thing. I guess we can obviously bleed this over into Intel too, right? Like, Intel's doing their earnings today as well. And obviously, like, I know yesterday, we can lead off with like yesterday, I guess, late at least, early, they announced that they're doing layoffs, right? So they're laying off like thousands to slash their, costs and fund technology. I think, AMD's like, for a while there, like, obviously Intel kind of laughed at like AMD. Like, they were like, Intel was the big dogs, and like, for many, many years there, people just laughed at AMD. And then eventually, obviously, AMD kind of caught up. And now it's like, Intel's like the one in the corner. It's like, we got to do something. And that obviously is going to start out with, cut layoffs at the end of the day. I think Intel alone, though, its management, I think, has not been great. I think that's one downfall of Intel is that side.
Yeah, I look at it from that standpoint too. I remember when I'm not sure if it was a 7 nanometer, but I know that they were having problems keeping up with AMD.
Yeah, exactly.
AMD was eating their market share, and they were doing well. And this is back in 2020, 2021.
Yeah, so I was saying that's really when AMD like started coming out, and like, I think it was like probably like 2019-ish, 2020. But they really started like, nipping at their heels. And then by 2021, it was almost like, Intel was in the rear view at that point.
You know how you used to go into the store and buy a laptop and you look at the map, you just look automatically for an Intel chip.
Yep.
Now you're like AMD. Your acceptance is AMD now, which is funny.
It is kind of funny, right? Like, it is kind of weird, like how that happens. Like, I literally just bought a new AMD chip, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So like, I used to be one of those people that was like, only Intel pretty much for the most part. But nowadays it's like, especially when it comes to like, if you're building a really good like work PC that you want to do a lot of stuff on, like you honestly, it's like hard to go with Intel when you can get so much more out of AMD for a lower price. That's the biggest issue for me. It's like, I don't want to go. And again, I have nothing against Intel. It's just like I'm buying the better product for the better price. And right now, the better product for better price is AMD. It's just, and I think a lot of that it comes down to is just, I think it's Intel's, poor management over the years.
They didn't pivot quick enough. They had 74% of the market share at one point. They didn't pivot. They got old and comfortable.
Yep.
And so now everyone's eating their lunch.
Yep, exactly. That's kind of the way I look at it too. Like I said, I mean, I think they just waited way too long. A lot of that obviously boils down to, to management not wanting to change. And it honestly, again, I try to look at it from two ways. Like, yeah, is it hard to change? Like when things have been working for so long for Intel, like obviously, yeah. But when you see AMD, catching up year after year after year, and if it eventually passes you, like when are you going to change, right? And it seems like now they're trying to change. But I just don't. Is it too little, too late, or do you still? I still think Intel holds a brand, right? I feel like it's so late in the game for them to try to really, really pivot right now.
I think it is because anyone can come back, right?
Yeah, anybody can come back. Yeah, 100%.
AMD was in the dollar range, came back and took the company up. Anything can come back, but you need a revamp in strategy. And I think when you look at think like this. NVIDIA, Rock Software, 2007, 2006, not Rock Software, CUDA, and then Rock Software with AMD, 2016. So there's a 9-year head start, and they have over 5 million developers on their software platform. And so they're so embedded, it's hard. Switching costs are amazing, and it just doesn't make sense. So they actually have to build new. Now they're getting it because if you looked at their earnings report, 115% data. They raised it from $4 billion to $5 billion on their data center revenue. So they're getting traction because they're the second in line. Like they're like the prince, and obviously NVIDIA is the king. So, but NVIDIA is so ahead of the game. Where do you find Intel at?
Yeah.
So they have to be a foundry company first now, because if they're making the chips and then they can get business from the AMDs and the NVIDIAs of the world and kind of substitute Taiwan,
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. I think that too. Yeah. 100% on that end. I think a lot of it goes on that. Like, again, I'm sure a lot of, I honestly think what is it? I can't remember their ticker, obviously, but Taiwan TSMC. I think that's one of the best companies to invest in if you want to get into the chip area. Like that was my very first, stock to get into when I wanted to obviously invest. Because again, they're the ones that are making said chips, right? So when I'm looking at like an Intel or AMD, I don't have any money in them, either one of them, right? But at the end of the day, like I said, it's like, and I'm sure some people in chat probably do. Like, hopefully it's not Intel. Hopefully it is an AMD, but AMD's had it rough too here lately. But I mean, overall, obviously, I think AMD is like miles ahead of Intel. I do think obviously Intel's the old dinosaur that took too long to swing around. I honestly hope they do make a comeback, because I do think it's better when we have competition between two big companies and two giants. Or maybe we have like a lot more come out, right? I think competition, drives the market, and without the competition there, then we could see a lot of stuff kind of slow and hinder everybody at the end of the day.
I think it's also depends on who you're talking to when it comes down to Intel and AMD.
Yeah,
because you look at the new investor looks at Intel and takes the news and says, you know what, it's cheap.
It's cheap, yeah.
Not knowing what cheap is, because price has nothing to do with value.
No.
So they don't understand. And so they go Intel. Yeah, that's great. No, I'm good. It's $29. That's why you want to buy it. Right? Yep.
No, 100%.
So I'd rather buy value and future cash flow, free cash
flow.
No,
yeah, I agree with that too. Like I said, they've hit this blunder now. Like, so they're supposed to be expectations is 10 obviously EPS of 10 cents. And then their revenues at 12.9 billion is what they're looking at. But last year at the same time, it was EPS of 13 cents and the revenue of 12.9 billion. So the exact same revenue year over year is not great.
It's no growth. So what?
None there.
What are you actually buying? And so it's really like, so when I'm looking at companies, I'm always going to be looking at the management, right? So management right now is showing me that they're inept, right? So I don't really. And they took too long, right? So why would I? It's not a turnaround story at this point, even though people are trying to sell it as that. But show me what the turnaround is. Just go to let's change bars for 1 second and go to Dell. So Dell did $100 billion in revenue, I think, the year before last, and then it did 88 billion. And when you look at it, they ran the stock up nicely, right? But when you go and say, okay, if that's the case, they actually did less revenue in their latest year, 2023, than they did in 2022. But you ran the stock up almost 100%.
Yep.
Because why? Because they're getting into bed with NVIDIA. The NIMS.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there was it doesn't take much, right? In the news stories wise, right? For people to overreact and either buy or sell.
Well, it's an easy name to buy, though. Everybody, it's okay. So when I was a broker, you want to sell a stock that everybody knows. In certain cases, no one knows. So when you don't have the client, you're pitching them a name that they know, right? Till you get the client, then you're pitching them a name they don't know. All right. So Dell is just an easy pitch.
All right. Make sure you get in on this. Go to the link in my bio on TikTok.
Wait a minute.
Go to the link in my bio. It's going to take you to my link tree.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah, I think she thought she was muted. All right, guys, let's let me do a quick rundown of making a prediction and things like that as well. Market is closed, and you can still yes. Today we're extending the make prediction because Apple's earnings doesn't get released for like a little while after, so it kind of makes the exact same thing. So usually what happens is market closes, and then within like 5 or 10 minutes, then we get a brand new thing. Or obviously the earnings drop, and then the computers start buying or selling, and then obviously retail's right behind them. But today, like I said, Apple's not dropping earnings right after, so Apple is dropping earnings 30 minutes after. So that's the reason why we're extending today. So you actually have an extra like 15 minutes to make predictions, pretty much. If you guys want to make predictions, like I said, if you guys are just watching, or if you guys want to come over, if you guys are new, or if you're just watching and haven't made an account yet, sign up, make an account really, really quick. As soon as you do that, you'll have your tickets up here. You can also get extra tickets by enabling notifications, following us on Twitter, following us on YouTube, and you get 5 extra tickets for every time you refer a friend. So if you have a Discord, if you have socials, or if you have family, you can share this link to them. Every time they sign up, you'll get 5 extra tickets. To make a prediction, though, it's super simple. You click on make a prediction. Let's just say you think aftermarket, the stock is going to go. Let's just say you think the stock's going down. So then let's just say you think the stock's going to 200. Hopefully it does not do that, but hey, let's just say you think that. So you submit prediction, and then you'll see the confetti fall, and you'll also see it in the chat. If that makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Yeah. So the earnings themselves will be released at 4:30 p.m. ET. So it'll be like 15 to 30 minutes after that. That's when obviously the price will be taken. Oliver in chat can also answer questions as well for like exactly what time they're looking at for taking. But I think it's like 15 minutes after they release their earnings. All right, let's go over here. All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's just talk about our good friend Roblox. And the reason why I want to talk about Roblox is because obviously this was one of the big ones that Kathy Woods was preaching about when it IPO'd. It was a stock that I didn't have a lot of I didn't invest in it, but it was a stock that a lot of people talked about. It it kind of had its own meme thing behind it. But I think because at the time Kathy Woods was this all-time predictor. But even though I feel like everybody was an all-time predictor in 2020 and 2021, every stock went up. This was one of those stocks that people bought up at IPO prices that I'm sure they're all wishing they didn't do now. But yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, 2020 was
yeah.
Everybody was right.
Literally, everybody was right.
But yeah,
it was.
Let me look at something on my screen.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's RBLX, right?
Yeah, it's RBLX. When it first debuted, I remember because like Kathy Woods was talking about, I think she bought a lot right at IPO price of like $69. But now, like obviously, it's down to $38. Like, I don't know. I just don't. When I look at Roblox, at least when I look at it, it's not like something that really like just stands out to me. But overall, like I said, I do know a lot of people, like some people that actually did buy into it. Like some of my like friends. But again, they didn't buy it at IPO prices. They bought it later on. But I still think, some of them are even down compared to where it was at. I'm sure they probably continued buying in. I'm sure hopefully by now they're I'm not like keeping up with their portfolios though. But I think it's just like I don't know, man. When I look at it, it's just not a stock that really like says like, hey, buy me. I do know a lot of people play Roblox, right? Like my 3 kids play Roblox.
Mm-hmm. So it's popular with the kids. It's very popular, but is it the
most popular game out there? Yeah, that's my issue. Is it investable? Like I know a lot of people spend a lot of money on it. There's different servers and all kinds of stuff you can buy with it. But I guess like chat, what do you guys think about Roblox? Like in general, if anybody has any thoughts, or if you own a Roblox in your stock portfolio, like hopefully you bought it down here when it was in the $20 range. I think there would be a better range than even in the 30s, almost $40 range. But again, when I look at it, it's just like, oh man. It's just not a stock that propels me to say, hey, I want to buy. Maybe you swing trade it, but even on swing trades, it's not that big of a swing trader either. It kind of just has its own ease and flows, and it moves up and down very slightly. But overall, it's just not something that really, really, says like, hey, come buy me right now. Maybe eventually, but again, like I said, my kids play it. I know lots of people play it. It's got tons and tons and tons of people that do play it, but I don't know, man. I just know it's one of those stocks. And the reason why I thought about it was when I seen it having earnings today. I just thought about it because of Kathy Woods, was the big driver behind the stock. And like lots of people are talking about it because she bought into it and it just went nuts. And again, this was back in 2021 when, again, some of these investors and with ARK, obviously was doing no wrong. But again, a lot of people were doing no wrong. And I think just, Kathy kind of took off. She was just one of those names that everybody's like, yep, this is it. I'm taking hold.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart right now.
When I look at the chart, what I'm noticing is from March-ish of 2022 to now, it seems like it's a high. It gets to a high of, maybe 50-ish, but it gets to a low of about 24, 25. Yeah. So if you have a stock that's doing that, you can just go ahead and make money going up as it hits the low and grab some money for your calls, and then buy puts as it starts going back down. If it hits that high of 50, 48-ish, just make your money on the downside with some puts. So that'd be a good way to make money off of this one since it's staying in that nice little range.
That definitely stays in its own range. Like I said, you can tell back when the big rave from Kathy Woods buying it at IPO. It went from the 69 price all the way up to what is that? It was 130 or 134 is the all-time high there. That's just, that was just off again, a couple people buying it that a lot of people kind of looked up to at the time. And it just kind of blew it up with retail investors. And there was bigger companies that bought into it too. I'm not saying it was all retail investors, but overall it was a big retail investor push back then on Roblox.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't touch it because the chart's been in it's in a downtrend. If you go wider out to when it went public, it's been in a downtrend since then. You do see trading above its 50 and 200, but the market takes a dump, then we'll see what happens there. But and then the revenues grew 20% from year to last year, but it's pretty been inconsistent.
It's been super inconsistent. That's the issue I think that's the issue with the stock overall is Roblox has been
in order for the street to even pay attention to anything.
Exactly.
The consistency. You got to look at it what is this company's 5, 10, and 50? Where do you see this company and how does it grow?
Yeah, right? So 100%.
Revenues from where do I get my free cash? They went from negative free cash flow 2022 to 2023, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, I There's other places to
yeah,
invest.
exactly. There's way better stock. Again, like I said, if you're like a big gamer and like you just want to invest a lot of money into games, like obviously like, Roblox could be one of those that you're investing into, but I would be definitely 100% investing once the stock, gets below the $30 price point. But again, like I said, it's just not something I want to be investing in. Obviously, it always has like terrible news on it too. Like every other day, there's like another, like, like one of these like PD, Roblox news stories that are, plastered everywhere. And then, you got a lot of that stuff on there. I mean, they have had some better price target like raises from different people, but overall it's nothing like crazy. So I just wanted to talk about it really quick just because of, Cathie Woods, and she was like a big investor into it. I know a lot of people used to follow Cathie Woods overall.
Yeah, no, I was just, it's not in my purview.
Yeah, it's not mine either. That's my thing too. It's like, I don't know about that.
Cathie Woods just became, the target. But you got to look at it from a standpoint of she was dead on in 2020, but then everyone was, if you were investing in the right companies, right? So when 2022, 2021 came around, those were the years to actually make hay, but then those tech stocks took a really big dive. And then all of a sudden she came back strong like everybody did in 2023. And it's really the classic story between Wall Street's PE value and Cathie Woods' growth scenario. And so you're having that war, and value normally outpaces growth over the long term. Right. But value pays you up front and growth pays you down the road. And so, but it's just a new target. But you have to look at it too, like there's a changing of the guard. Wall Street is used to doing business a certain way. Yeah. And so everything's about PE. But when you start to see NASDAQ trading, last time I checked, around 26 times earnings, and you start calling NVIDIA expensive, it depends on how they want to frame it. Because if you're saying it's trading at 40 times earnings today, okay, but if you go forward to 2026, or they're in the fiscal 2025, they're in the mid 20s, and you go, that's not cheap, but that's below market. So if they can continue to get growth, but again, pick a side. But you got to realize it's going to be about what side the profit's on and what scenario or narrative they push in order for them to make their point.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me shout this out real quick. We got 1 minute and 40 seconds to get your predictions in, guys. If you guys haven't, make sure to get your predictions in now, because we're getting close to the end of bidding. And then, like I said, around 30, I think it's like 35, 40 minutes after that, we'll announce winners as well. So if you guys haven't signed in really quick, sign in really quick. It'll only take you like less than a minute to sign up really, really fast. You can get your predictions in, bearish, bullish, doesn't matter to us, wherever you think the stock price is going to go. If you have multiple tickets, you can cover both sides. If you have, lots of tickets, you can cover lots of sides. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's super simple to sign up really, really quick. Let's just say you want to make the prediction of $22 after market. And that's after, obviously we're in aftermarket right now. I'm talking about the earnings, right? So once they release earnings, about 15 minutes after that, we'll announce winners. So the stock's either going to go move up or it's going to move down. Every once in a blue moon, you see you could have a stock that doesn't move a ton, but I think we're going to see an upside or a downside because the markets have been so crazy today. So like I said, let's just say you want to say it's 222, you make prediction, submit prediction, then you'll see your confetti fall, and you'll also see it in the chat. And that's how it's went through. So they should be released in 15 minutes. Nice. So 15 minutes, and then I'm guessing, a little bit after that's when we'll make the winners. I know Oliver has everything, dialed on his end. So some days, like I said, most days it's, bidding ends at 4 o'clock, but there's going to be times where earnings come out a little bit after. So then we'll extend bidding, a little bit after as well. So make sure you guys get those in. We're so close to 1,400 predictions today too, which is super awesome. I know there's been a lot of new people, watching overall. It's been crazy. I know right now we got 39 viewers. So there's been a lot of new people. Welcome everybody. Like I said, we do this Monday through Friday. How do we get credits for sharing? Brian, as soon as you share your link, when you hit referral, you share that. And as soon as you share that and somebody signs up using your link, actually signs up using a link, you'll get it soon after they sign up using your link. It might be delayed by like an hour or two, but you'll get it. You'll see +5 tickets at the top. If something goes like, if 100% somebody signed up, you didn't get them, we can look on our back end too. But so far we haven't had, really any issues on that end. And I think maybe when we first started, maybe we had an issue with something there, but it's been a while since we had that. So Any other questions too in the chat? Oliver's in the chat answering questions too, so you guys can always put them in there. Like I said, we are, obviously selecting winners in 30 minutes. So we're gonna be talking about different stocks other than just Apple too. So this is earnings price, not a daily close. No, so this is, you're predicting Apple's, stock price after earnings, pretty much. So they have earnings, and in 30 minutes, 15 minutes we have earnings, and then 15 minutes after that, you're predicting what the stock price will be. That's like the easiest way of like saying it, I guess. So you're not predicting the market close stock price. You're predicting after earnings stock price. So that's the reason why it makes it kind of fun, because you gotta do a little bit of research, or at least maybe a really good guesser. Like, what do you think the stock's going to do? Like, do you think they're actually going to hit their earnings? And one way you can do that too, and you're like, okay, I don't know if they're going to hit earnings or go under earnings. You can actually go to the earnings calendar now. And this is say, it doesn't really matter which one it is. We'll just use Apple for this one. But say you click on Apple right here. So now you can see like how many times in the past, and especially in the past, like little while here, have they hit earnings or come below. So obviously last they came below a little bit, but every other time they've been right on earnings or a little bit above their estimates at least. There's a few times they went way above, but so if I was a betting person, I would say they're going to be on target or a little bit above. But hey, you could also be a good betting person and say, hey, look, we're going to see two, red dots next to each other for the first time. And since I don't think it's even, well, on this, at least it hasn't happened. I honestly see them coming in on point or maybe a smidge above. But and again, if you guys haven't used the earnings calendar, it's free to use. I know there's a lot of companies out there that actually make you pay for this. We just released it. You can listen to earnings calls right on the website. You can listen to past earnings calls as well. So yeah, any of those things, you guys want to use it, you guys can always do that. You can add alerts. You can follow certain stocks. But yeah, there we go. The page is still under construction, building in public. Yeah, it is 100% building in public, though. What Oliver says there, like, we're not afraid to build in public. We're almost like, I think it's the best way to go about it. That way, you can at least figure out any kind of bugs that happen really, really quick. And that way, we're not going to hide behind something either. So awesome. Let's talk.
Jason.
Amazon. Yes.
T. Shago asked a great question in the chat. He said, "What happened to Dr. Kelly's $100 that Eddie won?"
I was thinking, I honestly don't know about that. You have to ask Oliver. I'm not the one who's on.
Okay, that. Oliver. Eddie took third place, but he can't get the money.
Don't ask me.
That should roll down to me because I was in fourth place. So what's up with that, Oliver? Tell me. Talk to me.
Yeah, you have to. Talk to him. They're the ones who roll that. I'm just here to, I'm the talking head over here at this point. But yeah, I kind of want to talk about Amazon. Obviously, sure. Amazon. I can pull up Amazon's chart too through just going through.
Thank you. He said,
Amazon,
"Thank you."
Yeah, I knew they were talking about that earlier, but I wasn't going to talk for anybody because I didn't know 100%. Oh, Amazon's down 4% aftermarket here.
Uh-oh.
The conference call, so that's really what turns it.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. So it's like Q2 earnings snapshot. Rippers. Let's see. 1 minute. This is written like a couple minutes ago. Amazon on Thursday reported second quarter profits of $13.49 billion. On a per share basis, the Seattle based company said it had a net income of $1.26. Let's see, 1.26. Let's see, earnings adjusted for reoccurring gains were at 1.23 per share, $1.23 per share. What was the estimates anyway? I didn't even look at the estimates, honestly. The average estimate of 15 analysts surveyed by Zach. Okay, it was earnings of $1.05 a share. I mean, honestly, if that's the case, they definitely beat on that side. But I'm wondering about what they're saying about like some sort of growth or if there's something negative in here. Let's see. The online retailer posted revenue of we already kind of read that in the period. Oh, they fell short of the street's forecast of 148.63 billion.
That's it.
They barely missed, but they missed. Their share per earnings was above though, so they beat on their money per share, but they missed on their obviously overall revenue.
Yep.
So that's going to bring in this market. That's going to bring you down no matter what.
Yep, that's right.
So that is a big rip, and it's nothing like crazy, I guess, but it's definitely when you see a stock that big going down that much, it's big, right? You know what I mean? Like it's definitely not fun. Let's see. They were down what altogether? 6% today altogether.
8. Let's see. 8 divided by 184. So 4% down right now. That's not too bad.
No, it's not terrible. They're down 6% altogether today, though. So
that's not too bad.
It's not terrible. It definitely could have been a bigger. I mean, we're going back to what, like the 30th when they had that tumbled into. It went down to. I wonder if it'll stabilize there. If they'll hit ground and then kind of build back up off that. They went down to like what 174 area. On the 30th. So they had there's some maybe they'll hit some stability there and kind of build back up. There was definitely a big rock that kind of fell there on the computers cell, but then it kind of bounced off that. So hopefully that was just the bottom at 172.64.
4%, yeah. There's a gap. There's a gap at 173.83. Let's see if it'll fall to that.
I mean, you're right on Link. Yeah, again, like there could be a gap here, like I said, but I think again they did in this market, like I said, like we're not in the worst market in the world, but any news that's not great news is bad news, and sometimes any good news is bad news. So it's just a weird like that. I don't think this is gonna obviously hurt Amazon overall though. Like I said, at least their earnings per share was up. If they would have missed on both of those though, I think they would have seen a bigger dip right there.
That's true.
It's really going to come down to what they say on the actual.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too on the actual call. Like what Amazon says.
They're not too concerned. They're concerned, but Amazon's a darling to them, so it depends on what they say.
Yeah,
as far as guidance.
Yeah. I mean, their shares have increased 21% since the beginning of the year, so it's been outpacing the S&P 500.
Anita Callaway.
If you need to mute yourself, you can, Dr. Kelly. If you need a call.
Okay, no worries.
You're good. You are good. Let's see. But I think overall, like I said, I mean, I'm with you on that. Like at least they obviously on earnings per share, they had they were supposed to come in at $1.05. They came in at 1.23, which is good. But again, like that 147, compared to the 148.63. And it's almost 148 already, right? You're not super far off there, but again, when it comes to analysts and you need to hit that, right? Mm-hmm. So it is what it is, I guess. But I don't think we're going to see too big of a dip here.
It could be like a way if they do the right thing, and then if they raise guidance, something could have happened in the quarter, but you don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. I mean 100%. I do get that. There's definitely, again, it's gonna be based on that call, but they are already up. I mean, they've been beating the S&P 500, so that's at least decent. The S&P's been doing great this year too. I feel like the market's overall been obviously doing decent. There's been some areas here and there where we're like, but overall it's been doing its thing, which is good. But yeah, I mean that's Amazon. What was the? Oh, so look at Intel. I wonder if Intel has Intel did theirs, didn't they already or no?
Let's see.
I'm wondering. Let's see. They're down. What is that? 5%. Well, down 6% today. Down 13% aftermarket hours. Yikes!
Yeah.
Yikes! We were just talking about Intel. We were definitely just talking about that too. So I know they're cutting 15% of their workforce. To try to, again, put some funds towards their, rebound. And again, I just think, like we said earlier, I think Intel's management was just way too slow of a dinosaur to turn around. I think it's going to hurt them unless they do something crazy. I don't think the company's going to die out. I just think they're in for a long bull.
Way down and hit this. Let's see. So Intel fell from 29 to 24.80.
Yep.
6, and that 24.86 is exactly this part right there. So it fell to that point right there.
Yeah, it's
and that's actually a very strong point. I call them memory points. So that's a
yeah. I mean, they had another memory point around somewhere around there in like
let's
like
see if we can find
all the way back in 2015.
Apple hasn't gotten their earnings out yet.
Yeah, Apple hasn't gotten out yet.
But let's see what the chart shows us.
I guess somebody could have leaked something by now, but you never know, I guess.
Come on.
It could be a little bit of sympathy right now. They're down, less than 1% in aftermarket. Apple is right now.
Yeah, so it could come right over here to about 198.
Brave. Nick, okay, wait a second. Stream won't even load on my end. Are you using I guess I haven't actually tried to use Brave. I use Firefox and it works perfectly fine.
196.
But isn't
over here, same thing.
I'm trying to think on the side of my head. Isn't Brave built on built on Chrome though? I thought Brave was like pretty much Chrome. Maybe I'm wrong.
Shortly. Let's see. It says
maybe I am wrong though.
8.
I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it should be the exact same. If it runs, well, I shouldn't say that because I'm not obviously an engineer myself, but when I look at it, it runs good on Firefox. I haven't tried it on Brave though. I've only tried it on Firefox and Chrome. I'm not 100% sure, honestly, though. I'll look into it too. I know Oliver is probably going to test it, so Oliver's going to test that, which is pretty awesome. Oliver, let us know if you can get it to load on there. But if not, like I said, it's not that big of a deal. Another one we had today is it already done earnings too? Coinbase. That'd be another one because that was another big. Obviously, people in crypto, but also Cathie Woods just sold a lot of Coinbase. She offloaded $2.7 million worth of it.
Yeah, let's check out Coin. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, Cathie Woods unloaded. I think what was it today or yesterday with 2.7 million shares.
They're up $3 right now.
Yeah, they're up. So I wonder what their earnings were. Let's see if there's like because I am honestly again I do know like. We crypto got rejected off 70,000. It's still being in 60,000. I still would think Coinbase would be doing decently. I would think, but maybe I'm wrong.
Let's check where Bitcoin is at right now.
I think it's was it like I think the last time I looked it was like 60 something, but
it's at 63. I thought I heard it hit 70,000 a couple days ago. Let me check.
I think it did bounce. I think we got rejected again off 70,000. That's the reason why. But that was when Cathie Woods dumped $2.7 million worth of shares.
Yep, I sure did. Yep. Okay. She did a whale move.
Yeah, well, she does a lot of like moving around a lot of stuff, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, okay, but at the end of the day, it's like it's Cathie Woods, and if you like Cathie Woods, you like her. I have nothing against her, by the way, either. If you like her, you like her. If you don't, you don't. That's just the way I've always looked at it when it comes to some of these people. Just obviously. There's a lot of people that used to really, really like her back in 2020, 2021. And then, again, I feel like anybody could have been in that same position, though. But, yeah, Coinbase seems like it's up a little bit aftermarket by, I think, by 1%. So nothing crazy there, but, at least they're not bleeding off. They did bleed off during the day, though. They were down 5.22% during the day, $11. So they still got some ground to make up to get back up to the day high, at least.
Check MicroStrategy. Now, the other one that people were looking and playing a lot in February and March was MicroStrategy.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah. So in their earnings. Oh, and they're going to be doing a stock split. Oh, on the 8th.
They are.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. I didn't know that. I just checked it. Just saw it right now. So in their earnings, they missed. Oh, yeah. They missed on both.
I think we have one thing too. Oh, they missed on both? Rip.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of those stocks that a lot of people were
right.
I remember people going crazy on that one. Another one that went crazy too. What was that? It's for real estate. It was when the boom in real estate was going nuts. It was what is it? Matterpoint? Is it Matterpoint? Something like that. It's the thing that does like the 3D shootings of inside like houses you see on like Zillow and Matterpoint. What is that called? Matterport. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's Matterport.
Huh. What's the ticker symbol of that one?
I think it is It's Matterpoint.
I never
honestly,
heard that one.
It was a. I know it's down like a ton now. I think it's like MTTR or something like that. Let me look.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Matterpoint. So it's what is it? It's down 3% in aftermarket. It's not a big stock, but I remember like back in it reached a high of like 27 or something like that, 28. It had like a big push when it IPO'd back in 2001. It had a big push and it dropped, and then had a big another push again in the end of 2021. And ever since then, it's just been flat. Like honestly, it's been. But I remember a lot of people like trading this, at least trading it back in 2022 or 2021. I mean,
let me see if they do options.
They again, I think they're the ones who do like all the capturing. So if you're looking at like real estate and like you're seeing like the 3D walkthroughs, that's what people are using, the Matterport cameras and stuff like that. They were going to like do a lot of other cool things. I don't know what they've done since. I haven't looked at it since 2022 either. It looks like this camera's a lot smaller on this 3D capture than it used to be. But I do know they have some big ones too.
Interest right there, a lot.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I just remember that one being like one of them. I know they're having earnings today too. Let me pull up. I know we had the other one too. Matter. Let's see. There were some really good stocks though that again, like it's kind of like getting my head like I'm like, oh, I remember that one now. I forgot all about it. Some of these. And I was just looking at this. Oh, there's Matterport. There's MicroStrategy right here.
Yep.
Yeah, they've had a lot of ups and downs, right? Like in terms of like they've really missed some earnings, and then they've had like right on earnings, and they barely missed some earnings. But here lately, they've been kind of on like at least whatever their estimates are is pretty close to it. They do have a couple reds there, but they were barely off. Yeah, I haven't looked at MicroStrategy in a long time.
Yeah, people were buying MicroStrategy because the CEO is buying Bitcoin like crazy.
Yeah. Okay, let's open up Apple. I think Apple should be.
Apple just reports $1.40 earnings per share.
Oh, there we go. I told you guys they're going up.
Let's check it out.
They're going up.
All right, so Apple is headed up to 21. All right.
Let's go.
0.3%. 221, 20 in aftermarket.
Oh man, I honestly on the red day, if they can get back past their, I mean at the end of the day, like if they can get back past like 220, 225, I'd be happy. But yeah, I mean honestly, that's not bad when it comes to the earnings side on that end too. Let me try to pull it up on. I wonder if it's available yet.
Apple really doesn't like.
Yeah, it doesn't move like crazy, like 100%. It's not one of those. It's going to be massively moving.
Beta is 1.24, so. Yeah.
Okay.
221.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Could we stream this platform while we're on this own stream as well, or?
I mean, you could, yeah, if you wanted to, 100%.
Yeah, not sure why my sound sounds like that, you guys. Sorry.
No, you're fine. If you're on the laptop, that might be why. Sometimes the laptop.
The bids were 205, 227.
Funny, I look at the window, and it's down.
Yeah, when you look at certain stuff like the stock stuff, like this over here, you're gonna see a window and a window and a window and a window.
Yeah, I just actually signed up and joined the stocks.com. I said, why didn't I do it in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, you could have, at the end of the day, like I said, we eventually you guys will be able to have your own streams. Obviously, right now we're in beta test mode, and it's like doing our game. It's honestly getting lots of new people like introduced to it.
Mm-hmm. No,
but overall,
this is going to be fun because I get a chance to like. So here's the funny part. Even with my my game, I get a chance because we find a lot of stocks while we're playing the contest. It's hilarious. Yeah. Like we had a company HOLO. That stock went from $1 to 70 in 3 days.
Shoo. That's wild, though. Isn't that crazy how that can happen, though, in the market? Like, just such a massive swing like that. Just
boom. It happens.
It doesn't take much. Honestly, it takes it's just a good news story, and then everybody goes crazy.
Yeah, and then it's the size of the float. So if you got a small float, all it takes is one person to put their feet on the gas.
No, yeah, exactly. That's kind of the way I look at it, too. It's just like, man. It is kind of crazy how that happens, though. It's just like the most unknown stocks that you've never heard of that shoot up like, it could be obviously thousands of percentage points or like out of nowhere, especially those under $1. Like if your penny stocks could be
back down to
all get out.
Dollar status because what goes up fast comes down fast.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You get that really quick squeeze and then boom. Then it's over.
Right now.
then it is over. So it really just depends.
They're going to be waiting for the earnings report now. I mean, the conference call.
Yeah. What is that? 219.
Actually,
we had the
Jason,
bump. Yes.
Did you say that we're gonna wait till 5 o'clock before the winners are selected?
No, I think the winners are going to be selected actually in like 9 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It was pretty much like 10 to 15 minutes after earnings got released, and then obviously that's when markets usually move the most. So then we try to do the thing then and not wait super long. But if you guys want to listen to the earnings calls, they will be on here too. Like if you go to your earnings calendar, and then once you click on the earnings calendar to open up, and you go down to whatever stock you're going to listen to. And if you miss it, you can also just listen to it later on, but it'll be up here. But obviously past ones go down here. So say you want to listen to past ones as well, you can listen to those. They're all there. This right here will be growing into more and more stuff. You can look at revenue, EPS, all those things.
Okay. That's really cool, man.
Yeah. We're building a lot of cool stuff for you guys to be able to use. Again, there's other sites out there that have this, but you have to pay money for it each month. So I think it's cool that we're introducing a lot of this stuff that's free to the everyday average Joe that usually they have to be paying money for on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I use a lot of services that I pay for.
Yep, exactly. It is like I said, man, because I paid for services too for earnings calendars and having a lot of stuff there. Like eventually you'll see news, like the latest news here, like all kinds of stuff will be here. And like there's a couple companies, obviously I won't mention names, but I've paid for it before just to have them because it made things a lot easier. But now you're going to have content creators and people who are just, everyday, investors that are watching your content can go over here also and can pull up earnings calendars and look at all the stuff as well. And then there'll also be eventually over here, once the earnings call goes live, you guys will be able to hit stream and you can stream the earnings call straight on your pages, which is going to be fun too.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're trying to make this as easy as possible. That way you guys don't have to, and obviously, regular everyday people don't have to go to some website that was made in the mid 2000s. That's hard to sign up on. They're, how the relations websites are. And they're horrible signing up on those sometimes.
It also helps you manage the platform because you want them to come to the platform.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing, 100%. Like it's obviously going to be a drive for us is to make sure we're getting things out there that's that you guys want to use. But yeah, we had I guess they did pull back down, but now it's going back up again. We'll see. Like I said, like you said, I don't expect Apple to have a massive pull. Like it's not going to go up to 230 or something crazy like that. But it is good to see
sales on the phones. Like it says, the Apple beats earnings despite decline in iPhones.
Yep.
So if they had a nice projection and hit the number on iPhones, the stock would probably be up dramatically. But
100%. Like we was talking about earlier, whatever that company's called, it's in obviously China, but Weiwu, I don't know. Either way, I'm terrible at saying the damn name. A lot of people were nervous about how much they were going to be taking over, obviously Apple's, I guess more loyal customers over in China. I know a lot of, like you said earlier, a lot of people that didn't switch over, and now with the AI side of things, I think you've seen a bump as well. I just think that was the most thing people are looking for in terms of were they going to buy or sell Apple.
A lot of units. I mean, this is a 15 right here.
Yeah, so, no, I got one too. And I wish I would have waited to the 16. So now I just got to get a 16 because the 16 is going to have some of the AI stuff in there, the Apple Intelligence, and I'm kind of interested in that more than anything.
And they got a lot of deals in the store, so people are going to get the phone. It's I think it was I forgot which carrier. I wouldn't mention their name anyway, but they're doing that as well.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing overall. Like I said, I'm for me at least when I'm looking at it, it's Apple's just a mainstay. I don't see it going anywhere. Again, nothing against, obviously, I think China does drive a lot of sales, 100%. But I just don't think Apple's going anywhere. I think they'll do great over in China still. Huawei. See, I knew I had it. I said I had it backwards. I said Weiwu. All right, whatever, Unlink. I almost had it right. One day,
no worries.
One day. I always say it backwards, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's not it. Yeah, we cover. Yep. What is it?
Can we get an option chain up on here?
An options chain? Which one? What do you mean? On the site itself?
That way we could see the bids and calls for the stocks instead of going to Yahoo Finance.
So we're building a lot of stuff like that. Yes. Like I said, this is going to be like a long-term thing though. Like there's a lot of stuff we're building. We're trying to build stuff that's really, really useful right off the start, like the earnings calendar, seeing earnings, like listen to earnings calls. So we do have like a thing, but at the end of the day, like I said, we'll be working with you guys and everybody in chat and, you know, on things, what we want to build first and what comes out first and what doesn't come out first. Eventually you'll be able to, as a content creator, I know a lot of people that do, you know, buys and sells like live, like you'll be able to like, as soon as you buy, like it'll alert the chat that you've bought something, right? Or stuff like that, right? So that's kind of cool. Like we're working on lots of stuff that, you know, there's paid services out there for that, you know, you don't have to be paid for anymore. And we're trying to make a lot of stuff again, like more valuable for the everyday, you know, retail investor, and not just all the big guys, but also make it really, really fun and exciting for content creators to be able to use as well.
Okay. All right. You know, now I noticed that you also, as you're showing everybody on your screen, Jason, I know you notice you're always going over to Yahoo to do charts. Is there going to be an actual charting?
We'll have it. We'll have a chart. We're working with TradingView for a lot of our charting systems.
Perfect.
So that'd be a lot of that stuff too. Right now, I'm just going over here because it's easy right this second. But eventually, we'll have like everything built in for you guys to be able to use like really, really easily with TradingView. That's ones we've been using right now. So it will get a lot easier. Like I said, honestly, right now, again, we're just like building as we go. So I mean, we've done a lot. We've done a lot, though. I will say, in terms of like, you know, the team and in terms of like engineer side, they've been building like crazy.
And I was appreciative they got the predictions. The referrals up there. They got that.
Now you can see your referrals
last week.
Yeah, when you click on the referrals thing, now you can see your referrals. Like when you click on, let's say like you obviously have your earnings calendar now. Once you go cash out. Let me mention this again, guys. For anybody who's watching, I know we're at the end here, and it's fixing to show winners in like 2 minutes. For right now, I do want to make sure everybody in the chat knows. Obviously, there's people that aren't listening or something like that, but you will be able to cash out starting Monday because we have to wait for a period with Stripe to pretty much verify everything on our end and their end, and then you guys will be able to cash out. So you'll get like an error, and I think they're fixing the error, and it'll show the error itself too when you do it. That'll actually say like, you know, cash outs, you know, coming Monday, yada, yada, and it has the date and all that stuff. So we're just waiting on that. We switched from PayPal because people were getting rejected because there's a lot of people that didn't have PayPal accounts. So then they were getting rejected. We couldn't send them money. So we just said, F it. And we just went straight to Stripe because we knew then there's not going to be a big issue. And then also we're going to be using gift cards too. So that's going to be a few weeks away, but eventually you guys will be able to check out with gift cards as well. If you don't want to use Stripe, you can just hold your money. And it's not going to go anywhere. It'll be up here. You can see obviously right next to your name. It tells you how much money you have. It updates right after the game. So you'll be able to do that as well. Outside of that, make sure you guys are sharing your referral link. For every sign up with your referral link, you get 5 extra tickets. They have to be verified signups though. So it can't be you're sharing you can't just share it and you get 5 extra tickets. It's every time somebody signs up and it's a verified sign up, you'll get 5 extra tickets. And then obviously there's all this other stuff over here you can do, daily login streaks. That resets every 8 days, and it kind of just continues that way. Add PayPal, please. But we may eventually add it again. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, that would be up to Oliver and staff. I'm not 100% sure though, Prince. We had a lot of trouble with PayPal, so it was a headache. I'm not sure if they want to go through that headache again. I don't blame them either.
Yeah, we had to talk about PayPal the other day.
Yeah, shoo.
Quick question for you: do you have?
It will always be free. Anything we do is always free, son. So anything we do will always be free. We're talking about like cashing out. Like you'll be able to cash out, you know, via Stripe. It's free to do. You honestly can hit cash out. And then you connect, obviously, your bank through Stripe, and then you hit cash out. That won't start until Monday, though. Monday, you'll be able to actually cash out money. And then a few weeks from now, you'll be able to cash out using gift cards as well. So it's free to do. It's always going to be free. The games we play are always going to be free, so don't worry about that either. All right, guys, we're calculating winners. May the force be on your side, guys. May the force be on your side, everybody. Hopefully some. I'm always hopeful for new people to be in first place. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, nothing against you, Kelly.
All good.
Maybe it's Coach's time to come into first place.
I didn't put a prediction in. I just opened the account.
Awesome. I hope you don't mind me calling you Coach all the time, but I just feel like it's. I feel
Everybody
like
else
it's
calls it, so it's all good.
Honestly, like I said, you look like a coach too. So I'm just like, Coach, let's go.
Thanks,
I mean,
William.
it's stuck with me at least. Everybody else can call you, but I'm just going with Coach.
That's how it works. I'm all right with that. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Man.
By the way, I have Stripe on my website as well because. Yeah,
Stripe's just easy, honestly. We were going to do Stripe, but then we're like, okay, just PayPal really quick. Oh, we got winners. Let's go. Who's in first place? It's calculating right now, by the way. So it's going to eventually pop up one. Right now, it still says 700 and something for some reason.
705th place.
Yep. It'll eventually get everybody's in there. It's had the same thing yesterday. Right now it has all the here it goes. It's calculating. Give it some time, guys. We got a lot of players.
Does only one person get paid?
No, a bunch of people get paid. Like I think like the top 700 people probably get paid. So like I said, the lower you go, the less you earn. It's kind of like, I don't remember if you remember HQ Trivia. It's kind of like that where a ton of people win, but the top 3 win the most.
Got it.
Yes.
So Chris, I seen him in chat. He won $250. Come in first place.
Nice.
Good weekend, won $150 in second place. And Thai came in third with $100 as well. Let's go. And everybody else, again, you can win multiple times because obviously you can continue entering. You'll win, obviously after fourth place, it pretty much goes down dramatically. But again, you have 700, people that win. Let's just say you entered 10 times. That's $10 that you could have won, or a little over $10, probably like, what is that? Like 13, $14. Let's go.
You can put in more than one prediction?
Oh, you can put as many predictions as you want, as long as you have tickets for it.
Okay, there you go. So.
Yeah, so as long as you have the predictions, like say right now I have 6 predictions, but you can have unlimited predictions by inviting more people, doing your daily logins, all that stuff. So, but yeah, like I said, we try to make it to where more people can win, kind of like the HQ Trivia model. If anybody in chat ever remembers HQ Trivia, let me know in the chat. I can't be the only one. Every time I mention it, everybody's like, "What's HQ Trivia?" I can't be the only one who remembers it. There's just no way. They did the same thing though. Like, the top so many people won, but the top 3 won the most.
All right, nice.
Oh, you were 9 cents away. The old app, yeah, that was so old. HQ Trivia was old, but like honestly, I used to love HQ Trivia. It was fun. It was free. It was fun and free. It was so great. All right, guys. It's a fun day today, though. No,
yes, it was.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you guys haven't, make sure to sign up. Make you a quick account. We have tomorrow. We have a lot of stocks. Well, I guess tomorrow. Let me get with because I don't know if you want to do. We might do crypto tomorrow, honestly, because there's no aftermarket. Obviously, there's nothing that reports aftermarkets. So we may do crypto tomorrow. I don't know as the one, or we could throw something in there that's out of left field, maybe like a bigger stock that a lot of people invest in or something like that, or maybe there's like some. Unless is there any kind of like stuff happening tomorrow that could be controversial, make stuff go up? Bitcoin's dying. Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere. Let's be honest. It always goes down, then it goes right back up. I mean, I'm not scared. I ain't scared of it. All right, guys, that's it though. I'm gonna
take care.
Stream here. Hope everybody has a great day. Come back tomorrow. We'll be live again tomorrow from 3:30 to 4:30. Maybe a little bit after. Who knows? Obviously, it's almost 5 o'clock. Hope everybody enjoys your I guess I should say last year Thursday, and tomorrow we'll be here again. Make sure you guys share your referral links, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.
All the winners.